everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Jessica. Thanks for joining us today. If you've ever felt stuck trying to form the perfect English sentence in your head before speaking, today's episode is just for you.
That's right. We're talking about a super important topic: how to talk English without thinking. Sounds impossible? It's not. In fact, it's one of the key signs of fluency.
Absolutely. It doesn't mean speaking without using your brain. It means not overthinking every word, every sentence. We'll show you how to speak more naturally, like native speakers do.
And don't worry, this episode is packed with practical tips, a fun mini role play, some useful phrases you can copy, and even a fluency challenge at the end. And don't worry, this episode is packed with practical tips, a fun mini role play, some useful phrases you can copy, and even a fluency challenge at the end.
So grab your headphones, get comfy, and let's jump right in. Mark, want to kick things off? So Mark, let's start with the big question. What do we really mean when we say talk English without thinking?
Yeah, great question. We don't mean you should turn off your brain. It's not about speaking randomly or carelessly. It's about automatic speaking, being able to express yourself in English without stopping to translate every word in your head.
Exactly. A lot of learners think in their native language first, then they try to translate it into English. That takes time, and sometimes it leads to awkward or incorrect sentences.
Right. But when you talk without thinking, you're using English phrases and patterns that are already familiar to you. It's kind of like how you don't think when you tie your shoes or ride a bike. Your brain knows what to do because you've done it so many times.
I like that example. And it's really about training your brain to recognize common English sounds, words, and sentence structures so that speaking becomes natural.
Yep. Native speakers don't stop to think about grammar rules while they speak. They just say what they feel, using chunks and expressions they've heard 1,000 times.
So here's a simple test for our listeners. If someone says, "How's it going?" and you pause for 5 seconds before saying, "I'm fine, thank you," you're probably thinking too much.
Haha. Yep. But if you respond instantly like, "Good, you?" or "pretty busy today," that's natural, relaxed English. That's the goal.
So in this episode, we're going to help you move from slow, careful speech to smooth, confident speaking without that mental pause before every sentence.
And don't worry, it's a skill anyone can build with the right practice. We'll show you how in just a moment. So, Jessica, we just talked about what it means to talk without thinking, but let's be honest, it's not easy for most learners.
Definitely. One of the biggest reasons is fear of making mistakes. A lot of learners think, if I say something wrong, people will laugh at me or I'll sound stupid.
Yup, that fear can really freeze people. It's like their brain is trying to double-check every sentence before they speak.
Exactly. And another problem is grammar obsession. Many learners focus so much on getting every verb tense or preposition correct that they can't speak smoothly.
Yeah, it's like trying to drive a car while reading the instruction manual at the same time. You'll get stuck.
Haha, that's a great comparison. Also, let's not forget the habit of translating. If you think in your native language and then try to translate word by word into English, your brain is doing double work.
That's exhausting. And that's why many learners can understand English really well. But when it's time to speak, they freeze up or speak very slowly.
And here's another issue: lack of exposure. If you only study English through textbooks and don't listen to real conversations, your brain doesn't recognize natural patterns.
Yes, like people don't always say, "I am going to the store." They say, "I'm gonna go to the store," or even just, gonna head to the store. If you're not used to hearing that, it's hard to respond naturally.
And when your brain isn't used to those phrases, you'll pause, you'll think, and sometimes you'll give up.
But here's the good news. Every one of those challenges can be overcome. That's what we're here for.
That's right. In the next part, we'll talk about how to bridge the gap, how to move from overthinking to speaking automatically.
All right, now let's get into the real question. How do you actually bridge the gap between your mind and your mouth?
Yeah, because for most learners, the knowledge is in their brain vocabulary, grammar. Even listening is okay. But when it's time to speak, the words don't come out smoothly.
Right. So the first step is repetition. Think of language like muscle memory. The more you repeat natural English phrases, the easier it becomes to say them automatically.
Exactly. It's like learning a song. At first, you have to think about the lyrics, but after a few listens, boom, you can sing it without even thinking.
And that's why listening to real spoken English is key. Watch shows, listen to podcasts like this one, and repeat what you hear. Not just the words, copy the rhythm, tone, and flow.
Yes, shadowing is a great method for this. Just listen to a native speaker, pause, and then repeat right after them like you're their shadow.
Another big tip, use chunks of language. Instead of building a sentence word by word, learn useful phrases as one piece. For example, let me think about it. Or, that sounds like a good idea.
So true. Chunks reduce thinking time. You don't have to create a sentence, you just grab a phrase you already know.
And don't forget about speaking out loud. A lot of learners study quietly. But to improve speaking, you need to speak every single day, even if it's just to yourself.
Even talking to yourself in English can help, like when you're cooking, walking, or getting ready in the morning, say what you're doing in English. I'm brushing my teeth. Now I'm making tea.
That trains your brain to think in English. And when you think in English, you don't have to translate anymore, the words just flow out.
So to sum up, repeat common phrases, shadow native speakers, learn and use chunks, speak out loud daily, practice thinking in English.
Exactly. All of these help your mouth catch up with your mind, and eventually, they'll work together like a team.
Up next, we're going to show you how it sounds in real life with a short mini role play so you can hear natural, fast English in action.
All right, so now it's time for a little role play. We're going to have a short, natural conversation just like two friends talking, and we'll speak at a normal native speed.
Yep, we won't slow it down or think too much, just natural, relaxed, everyday English. Let's imagine we're meeting at a coffee shop on a Monday morning. Ready?
Let's do it. At the coffee shop.
Hey, morning, you look half asleep.
Ugh, I am half asleep. I stayed up way too late last night.
Again? What were you doing?
Just binge-watching that new crime series on Netflix. You know, the one everyone's talking about?
Oh, yeah, I started it last week. It's so addictive.
Right? I kept telling myself, just one more episode, and then it was 2 a.m.
Classic. So how's your Monday going so far?
Honestly? Slow. I haven't even had coffee yet.
Okay, that's a crime. I'm ordering for both of us. Same as usual?
Yep, large black, no sugar. You're the best.
I try. Be right back.
All right, that's the end of our role play. That's how native speakers really talk, casual, quick, and full of connected phrases.
Exactly. We used a lot of real expressions, half asleep, binge watching, just one more episode, same as usual, you're the best. These are chunks that come out naturally.
We weren't stopping to think about grammar rules or translating anything. It just flowed, because we've said those phrases 1,000 times before.
And that's the goal for our listeners. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on sounding natural. The more you listen and practice, the more automatic it becomes.
Next up, we'll break down some of those phrases from our role play so you can understand them and start using them in your own conversations.
All right, let's take a look at some of the useful phrases from our role play. These are the kinds of expressions that native speakers use every day, and they'll help you sound more fluent without overthinking.
Yeah! Let's start with the first one. You look half asleep. That just means someone looks really tired. Maybe they just woke up or didn't sleep well.
Right, and it's way more natural than saying you appear to be very tired. In conversation, we keep it short and relaxed.
Next one, I stayed up way too late. This means you didn't go to bed early. You can also say, I was up all night, or I couldn't sleep.
Then we had binge watching. A super common phrase nowadays. It means watching many episodes of a show in a row, like not just one, but 5 or 6.
Ha ha ha. Guilty. Another great one. Just one more episode. This is a common excuse people say when they don't want to stop watching. We say it a lot when we know we should stop, but we don't.
Then there's this. Same as usual. This is an excellent phrase when you know someone's regular order or routine. It's short for, do you want the same thing you always get?
Yeah. And I replied, Yep, large black, no sugar. You're the best. You're the best is a super friendly way to say thank you. It adds a personal touch.
Let's not forget the patterns, too. In our role play, we used a lot of contractions. I'm, your, it's, haven't. That makes your speech smoother and more natural.
Exactly. If you say every word clearly and separately, like I am going to the store, it can sound robotic. But if you say, I'm gonna go to the store, that's how people really speak.
So here's a tip. Start noticing these phrases in shows, YouTube videos, podcasts, and write them down. Practice saying them out loud over and over until they feel automatic.
If you train your brain with these natural phrases, you'll be able to speak English without thinking, just like we talked about at the beginning.
Coming up next, we'll cover some common mistakes learners make and how to fix them so you don't fall into the same traps.
All right, we've talked about how to sound natural and speak without overthinking. But now, let's look at some common mistakes that slow learners down.
Yeah, mistake number 1 is trying to translate word by word from your native language. This almost always leads to awkward or incorrect sentences.
Exactly. Instead, focus on learning whole English phrases. Like we said earlier, chunks, not individual words.
Another mistake is worrying too much about grammar while speaking. Grammar is important, but in real conversation, fluency comes first.
Right. It's okay if your grammar isn't perfect. Native speakers break grammar rules all the time in casual speech.
Here's a big one. Not speaking out loud. Many learners just read or listen but don't practice saying things.
Fix. Talk out loud every day, even to yourself. Describe what you're doing. Ask yourself questions. Repeat phrases from shows or podcasts.
And the last one, using very formal or stiff language. Phrases like, I am desiring to visit the market don't sound natural.
Ha ha ha. No! Instead, say, I want to go to the market, or I'm thinking of heading to the market. That's what fluent, relaxed English sounds like.
So just remember, fluency is about practice, patterns, and confidence. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for connection.
Exactly. Now, let's put that into action with a quick challenge for our listeners coming up next.
Okay, it's challenge time. Let's help our listeners put today's tips into action right now.
Yeah! If you want to speak English without thinking, you've got to train like you talk. So here's your fluency challenge.
Step 1. Choose 3 natural phrases from today's episode. Maybe, you look half asleep, same as usual, or I stayed up way too late.
Step 2. Say each phrase out loud 10 times. Seriously, 10 times. Get your mouth used to the sound and rhythm. No silent practice.
Step 3. Use those phrases in your real life today. Talk to a friend, speak to yourself, or even leave a voice note. The goal is to use them without thinking.
Bonus: if you want to challenge yourself more, pick a short clip from a show or YouTube video and try shadowing it. Repeat after the speaker. Match their speed and tone.
Do this every day for just a few minutes, and you'll be amazed how quickly your brain stops translating and starts flowing.
Remember, speaking fluently doesn't happen by luck. It happens through daily, focused practice.
You've got this, and we'll be right here with more tips in the next episode.
And that's a wrap on today's episode, Talk English Without Thinking.
We hope you now understand that fluency isn't about speaking perfectly. It's about speaking confidently and naturally.
Exactly. Start small, repeat real phrases, speak out loud, and stop waiting for the perfect sentence. Just speak.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow our podcast and share it with a friend who's also learning English.
And remember, the more you practice speaking, the faster it becomes automatic. You can do this.
See you in the next episode. Keep speaking, keep smiling, and don't